Welcome to Lola Lee Chat. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. So Blueface mom Karlissa was at her son's court hearing yesterday with cameras rolling. And Blueface's court date was actually rescheduled for August the 9th. So Karlissa's dad was also there, but he got into a heated discussion with one of Blueface's people. I believe it was Bodine. So this is what Karlissa shared to her Instagram. It's a clip of what went down, but if you want to see the full interaction, well, you're going to have to subscribe to her Patreon. I'll put a link in my description. Okay, but here is what she posted. So I'll just give you a quick summary. So Mr. Harvey told Bodine who he was and reminded him that he is Blueface's blood, and also, reminded him that those are his grandchildren over there. And, Mr. Harvey was really upset that Jaden brought his grandkids to court to see their dad in chains and in an orange jumpsuit. That wasn't really cool at all, and he did express that. So Mr. Harvey also talked about CPS, and I actually agree with Mr. Harvey regarding bringing kids to court. I think Javon is at that age where he can be affected more than, of course, Journey, And then, of course, he wasn't released, so I'm sure that probably caused him some distress as well. But I mean, to see your father in front of the judge in that orange jumpsuit, handcuffed, that is not nice. It's, that's not a nice experience for a child. So I get where Mr. Harvey is coming from. The part that I don't agree with was the CPS part. So here is the clip that Karlissa shared. It's Bodine and Mr. Harvey having a heated conversation.
What kind of grandfather am I here when my children here and his father's coming out in a city jumpsuit? I mean, you see this stuff. I'm not the one to talk to. I'm not the one to talk to. We're done. These don't belong to you. These belong to me. This belongs to me, and this belongs to me. How do they belong to you? Then you have no say-so. Where do you get it from? No, you don't make sure you're not one. There's no legal thing here. I don't have to know it. All I know is the blood goes through me.
So in this paragraph that Karlissa wrote under the video clip, she basically said, on the next episode of CHRISEAN, and then she gives a link, she said, I do not agree with anything my father had to say in court. I have learned to accept things I cannot change. Of course, we would all want for my grandchildren not to have to see the truth, but the truth is my father took me to court at the same age and even ended the day with a brawl against my mother and stepfather. Wow. We want to do better, but it's better not to judge because we all have situations in our lives that we aren't proud of, but that doesn't mean that we forget the damages we are guilty of too. So maybe Mr. Harvey, was remembering the time that he did it, and maybe he learned from it and he didn't want a repeat for his grandchildren. So I'm just going to play a clip of Mr. Harvey explaining what went down today in court.
The gentleman that approached me about my grandchildren, who's a total stranger to me, and he attempted to give me some type of advice about my children. And one thing I don't take is advice about my children. I've worked hard all my life and raised my children and took care of them as a father. And for someone to come and try to give me information about my children, who I don't even know, is totally inappropriate. So when I asked the gentleman to let's stop the conversation, he insisted to try to present more of the conversation, disrespecting who I am. And so once you disrespect who I am, then you get what you get. And he got what he got. His interpretation to me was meaningless and it had no heart in it whatsoever. I don't know what his concern is, but anybody who wants to bring children to a courthouse needs some type of psychological help. And that goes for Jonathan, Jonathan's mother, grandmother, any individual that wants to involve children in this episode. What's going on is what's causing our children to be lost in life, following, for lack of a better word, these type of people. They're not role models. And some of them, to be quite honest with you, shouldn't have children. So if you got any more questions, you can let me know. But as you can see, I'm going to be passionate about mine. I'm going to be down about mine, whether you at a high school graduation or penitentiary release. You still mine. And nobody, and I want to say this again, nobody on this earth can tell me anything about how to see about mine.
So Karlissa did go online to apologize to Jaden in written form. She also went on Instagram Live to apologize. And here is the public apology and thank you that she wrote to Jaden on her Instagram. She said, "Thank you, Jaden, for allowing me to spend time with my grandkids today. I apologize for my father, who had no right to speak on anything about my grandchildren without even knowing who they are or what you do. It's clear that you are doing a great job, especially having to do it alone. I separated myself from him as soon as I heard anything about CPS and will not be having anything to do with anyone that would rather judge than to see my grandchildren happy. Keep doing the best you can because that's all we can do." So people got a lot to say about the situation. And here is Karlissa on Instagram Live apologizing because she had no idea that her dad had done an interview with someone else. And apparently on that interview, her dad went off once again, talking about the CPS thing, talking about, Jaden bringing the children. So that is what she's apologizing for here.
Yes, y'all, please tell Jaden that I apologize. I had no idea. I did not get to watch that video until just now. And tell her to kiss Javon and tell him that I am super sorry. I had no idea that my father would ever say anything like that on no video camera for no clout. That was it for me. I don't have nothing else to say and nothing else to give. I didn't know he was taking interviews talking about no kids or none of that. Absolutely not. She is doing the best she can as a single mom by herself with her kids right now. And if she wanted to show up to support and show that judge.
This person said, "I agree with him about all these people. He is correct in my opinion. He is absolutely right in everything he said. If the kids shouldn't have to be there, the courts would have decided that. Y'all be wanting to hide things from your kids, and that's where you're wrong. His son knows where he is. What's the difference from going to see him in jail, then in court? Stop the nonsense." He is old school, but my mom said the same thing. You do not take kids to a courtroom. He's coming to get everybody straight. Don't play with him about his grandkids or his kids, period. I don't think he was so much judging. He was speaking truth as far as Jovan. At the age that he will forever remember his dad in shackles. It's different in visitation. You don't have to be handcuffed, etc. The man said nothing wrong other than CPS. If this happened with him, then he knows from experience how detrimental something like this could be to a child. A child's parent being in jail is not normal, so this shouldn't be normalized to children. If Blue had years locked away, I would understand. Jovan going to jail, seeing him there, it's too adult of a situation for them kids. Now he at home and his dad not. Mr. Harvey said nothing wrong. He loves his family and no outsider is going to tell him otherwise. He's old school. He said what he said. And what I got to say about the situation is, I don't think that Karlissa had to apologize for what her dad said. I think that he has a right to his opinion and how he feels. I don't agree with the CPS part, but Mr. Harvey did have a point. And the one good thing that came out of this whole situation was that Karlissa was able to see her grandchildren. She was on FaceTime with her sister, and her sister was one who actually shared this beautiful picture to Instagram. I did share this on my other page. But definitely, guys, let me know your thoughts on the situation. As for Blueface, do you guys think that he's going to be released on the 9th? Let me know what you think about what Mr. Harvey had to say. Karlissa posted here that you can see the full video on her show. Like I said, I will put the link to her Patreon in my description, so you can head over there and go watch the full video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
I'm going to be passionate about mine. I'm going to be down about mine, whether you're at a high school graduation or penitentiary release. You still mine. And nobody, and I want to say this again, nobody on this earth can tell me anything about how to see about mine.